come to an end. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yogasthah kuru karmani Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva Samatvam yoga uchyate Durena hyavaram karma Buddhi yoga dhananjaya Buddhau sharanamanvichcha Kripana phalahetavaha Buddhi yukto jahatiha Ubhe sukrita dushkrite Tasmad yogaya yujyasva Yoga karmasu kaushalam Karmajam buddhi yuktahi Phalam tyaktva manishinaha Janma bandha vinirmuktaha Padam gacchancha namayam Yada te moha kalilam Buddhirvyatitarishyati Tada gantasi nirvedam Shrotavyasya shutasya cha So this is Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, this particular verse we were doing. This is whenever we perform an action, the result is always governed by not only the present action but also the past. There is always a past influencing the present. In understanding what Gita is talking, the first thing that we have to register is the present is never free from the past. We always want my present action to give me the result independent of the past. That doesn't work. The past is always taken into account. An individual's past is always taken into account in giving the results for his present action. And even though I have a past, I can't doubt that I had a past. Not only the past in this life, but also past before the life. Without any effort, I can understand I had a past in this life. With a little effort, we can also understand I had a past even before. Like, you had a past before you wake up. In the morning you woke up. Before you woke up also you had a past. There was another day. Today now it is 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Now, you had a past today. You had a past today. Today there were past hours. But you had a past day also. You had a past in this day and a past day. Similarly, we have a past in this life and past life. We had a past life. Therefore, whenever we perform an action in this life, that action will bring us results, no doubt, but as influenced by the past, it is not in my hands. All that is there in my hands is I can persuade myself to accept what comes. In fact, our wisdom lies only in that. Our capacity is only We have a capacity only to accept what comes. We can only accept what comes happily. We can work for the best, but we need not get the best. We have a choice to work for the best. We have a choice to work for the most noble, for the best. Everything that is acceptable, desirable. But then, even though I have a choice to work for the best, but there is no guarantee that I will get the best. Some people, they take years and years and years to find the best girl. And ultimately, they get a girl. And the very next, within 1 year, divorce. जब होता है ना, इधर प्रारब्ध में होता है. Sometimes, you don't look for the best, but you get the best. Casually you get the best. Seriously, after serious search, you get the worst. After no search, sometimes you get the best. What does this prove in life? There is much more than your search. There is much more than our own faculties that governs what we get and what we don't get. That past is there. Therefore, Krishna says, work for the best. Do a good deed with a good attitude. Do the right actions with the right attitude. But even after doing the right actions with the right attitude, you cannot really command the kind of result that you want. You have to only accept what comes. Result we don't know. Therefore, what should we do? Say, accept it as something that is that is shaped by the hands of God, and also there is no unfairness behind it. There is no unfairness, because if I take into account my past, maybe this is what I deserve. We become peaceful only when we don't read unfairness. Did you hear this? We become peaceful only when we don't read unfairness into that result. The moment we think there is unfairness, we become disturbed. Because what disturbs us most is that this nature is being unfair to me, God is being unfair to me, people are being unfair to me, my parents are being unfair to me, somewhere something is conspiring against me, being unfair to me. It is this sense of being wronged. The sense of being wronged makes us disturbed. The sense of being wronged makes us disturbed. Therefore, from your point of view, you take the right steps, do the right actions, even avoid the wrong, do the right, avoid the forbidden, do the wrong. It's like, I'll give you an example. You be very nice to your daughter-in-law. Be very nice to your daughter-in-law. Don't be unfair to her, because she is also a jiva like you. She wants to be happy. She wants to have her own space. She also doesn't want to be nagged. You understand that all that you crave for, the same thing she also craves for. And be fair. You don't have to be extra nice to her, but be fair to her. Be fair. Being fair is different from being. Like a mother, is extra nice to her children, much more than fair. A mother is not fair, she is unfairly fair. She is unfairly fair to her children, over attached to the children. She is unfairly fair. That is a different realm, that is an attachment. But to your daughter-in-law, you can be fair. Fair. And once you are fair, and then you have done your best. And despite your being fair to her, supposing that girl is not fair to you, that girl gives you hell, then what do you do? Tell me. What do you do? Give back to her hell? No. Accept it as prasadam. After being fair, and if you get something unfair, either you leave the situation, you protect yourself from that unfairness. You can always protect yourself from that unfairness, or just take it. What is the alternative? Tell me. Being unfair to the unfair person? No, I don't think so. You have been fair to your daughter-in-law, and she is not. I'm just giving it as an example, don't imagine. You have been fair to your daughter-in-law, and she doesn't happen to be fair to you. She is not fair to you. Then what do? Krishna's teaching works. Say, you do your best, and then keep your cool when you don't get the expected result. Maybe in the light of all your past, maybe this is what you deserve. Who knows? What you deserve. This you can accept after making every effort. Even teach her not to be unfair, explain to her, advise her, and even admonish her. You try to help her out. After making every effort, after making no stone unturned. You have made every stone turned. You haven't left any stone unturned. You understand? You have made every effort to rectify the situation. You have made every effort to rectify the situation. And yet sometimes you don't get what you expect. Then what do? Accept it. That is called samatvam. Accepting what comes to you after making every effort. Accepting what comes to you after making every effort. This is something what we are talking. This is something that applies to you in relation to your parents, your children, grands. It's a within the household it works. And even your desires, you want something, you want money, you work and you do everything to make money through the right means, and yet you don't make it. You always make only just both ends meet all right, but you don't make big money. And then we accept. What else can you do? Maybe in this life, this is what I am destined to. There is something called the past, destined. There is a past. I have a destiny to go through like this. Who knows? Clear? Anyway, thus accepting what comes to us after making every right effort is what is called samatvam, equanimity in our mind. Equanimity in one's mind by way of accepting what comes is called samatvam, and that equanimity is yoga. It is a yoga. Why it is called yoga? It brings about harmony, and that dispels disharmony, that dispels unhappiness. Yoga by definition is something that puts me back in good healthy condition. It puts me back in good health. Like a man who is suffering ill health, a patient is treated, that treatment puts him back in good health. Yoga by definition is that which unites me to harmony, which unites me with peace, which unites me with mental health, which unites me with equanimity, which unites me with the truth, which unites me with peace. It brings me back to normality. That's called yoga. Yoga means that which normalizes. And therefore, accepting what comes to me after making the best effort definitely brings about equanimity, and equanimity means shanti. Alright, Swamiji, what will I do with that equanimity? Krishna says, use that equanimity to understand, to look at the silent you, the peaceful you, the person, the conscious being, which is the truth. It's like, supposing there are diamonds on, there is a pool of water. Like a swimming pool, there is a natural pool of water. And whenever if it is a natural pool of water, definitely the flow of that pool is always full of sand. Is always sand. There is sand. In that sand there are diamonds. And now you are all the time throwing pebbles in the pool of water. It is all the time disturbed. Therefore you can never capture, you can never perceive the diamonds on the floor. Okay? You can't. Just I am giving an example. So there are diamonds, and but then you can't see the diamonds because you are disturbing it. Because you are sitting next to the pool on the edge of the water and you are throwing water. Throwing small pebbles. You are throwing and disturbing water. Throwing and disturbing water. You are disturbing water. Can you see the diamonds? In fact, that is what we do. Just as sitting close to the pool and keep disturbing water, similarly, we keep on disturbing our own mind by throwing pebbles. Means what? By entertaining this thought or that thought, etc. Now, with the help of the teaching, by understanding certain logic in life, well, God is never unfair to us, and then if we accept what comes, then there is equanimity, there is tranquility. In that tranquil mind, we can perceive the diamond, that is the observer, the self, which is not the form, but which is the truth of the entire form. Understand? Therefore, to perceive ourselves, to perceive our eternity, to perceive our unlimitedness, to perceive our identity, not as a form, but to perceive our identity as a non-physical, soul, conscious being, we need to be tranquil. Tranquility has spiritual purpose more than material purpose. Mental tranquility has a spiritual purpose. Mental tranquility is meant more for spiritual education, not merely to bring about efficiency for greater and greater material abundance. I've said something very important if you have captured it. Mental tranquility is not to be used merely for greater and greater efficiency for material prosperity. Did you hear that? Swamiji, why don't you repeat it again? Okay. Anyway, repeating is one thing which I am never tired of. Because if I don't repeat, then what do I do? What do I do? Mental tranquility is to be used for spiritual reflection, for spiritual education. Tranquility is too sophisticated a thing, too valuable a thing to be used only for material prosperity and abundance. Mental tranquility is too valuable a thing, too subtle a thing, too sophisticated a thing, too wonderful a thing, too rare a thing. It's a rare thing. Mental peace is a rare thing to be used for spiritual study and reflection. You may use it for material work also, that's different, but primarily it should be used for spiritual reflection. Therefore, when you are peaceful at home, that is all the more reason to come and study. Therefore, those who say, we have no problem, we don't have to go and study Bhagavad Gita because we are all right, we have no problem, we are very peaceful. Hey, if you are peaceful, then that is definitely the reason for you to come study, because Gita is meant for a peaceful person. Spiritual study is for a peaceful person. Okay, this is over. The next verse. Durena hi avaram karma. One is karma, the other is karma yoga. You have to register this word. Karma means simple action, doing some action. Going to office, working, making money. This is all what? Karma. Now don't call it karma yoga. Just doing action for money, working for money is just karma. Bas. And technically speaking, it is kamya karma, meaning desire-oriented action. Desire-oriented action means what? Working for money, working for name, working for power, working for property, working for something material. Working for material abundance is what? Karma. Kamya karma, just action. This everybody knows. Everybody is born with an instinct for karma, for material result. Even a small child is born with the instinct for action for material result. In fact, we don't have to teach anybody to do karma as soon. In fact, these days even the boys work for money. Even small children, teenagers also work for money, work for pleasures, work for property, work for flats. They work for money, for material, something material. Not that, it is not that they all do it, as a prayer to God. I don't think anybody does as a prayer to. It says, I am working because I want money. I am working because some people these days they work the whole night. There are night shifts. These multinationals, I tell you, they are destroying the health of our teenagers. I mean, this is all unnatural. You keep, awake the whole night and then sleep the whole day. It is very difficult to make this adjustment. But anyway, why are you doing it? Because you want to make money. Money is attraction. Property is attractive. Another house is attractive. You understand, Flats are very attractive. Therefore, material things are very attractive. Is man taught to be attracted by the world? They say man is born with the attraction for the world. He is born with the attraction for the world. And therefore, because he is attracted by the world, therefore he wants to achieve it, therefore he does work. And that working for material abundance, that working for material wealth is called karma. Simple karma means action, meaning work. Technically, kamya karma. Kamya karma. What Krishna says here is something very good. This simply working for material wealth, durena hi avaram karma, is a very, by far, it is far inferior. Durena means far. he, indeed, avaram, inferior. Karma is karma. Doing action only for wealth is far inferior. I am going to dilate on it. This, just listen, 1 hour is not a long thing. Even if it's too boring. Anyway, the whole day one gets bored at home. So instead of getting bored at home, you get bored in the class. It's only change of place. Doesn't matter. But maybe this boredom is more educative than the boredom at home. Therefore, just to listen, concentrate. To begin with, I say, just working for material wealth is far inferior, Krishna says. Is far inferior. I am going to change the language. It is not far inferior. It is wrong. You can't say unhappiness is something inferior to happiness. I say unhappiness is what I don't want. Happiness is what I want. You can't say darkness is inferior to light. You can say sunlight, this electricity light is inferior to sunlight, you can say, because both are lights. If both are lights, one is really the electricity light, the other is the natural light, the other is unnatural light. You can say, all right, one is superior, the other is inferior. But can you say darkness is inferior and light is superior? No. Light is the thing that I want, darkness I don't want. Similarly, here when Krishna says, working for material wealth is far inferior, it means not inferior, it's a wrong thing. It is underutilizing one's resources. Where one can keep growing, there one decides to stagnate. Where one can grow and move towards the goal is going round and round. Like you want to go to Badri. You want to go to Badrinath. Now there is a straight road leading to Badri. Now instead of walking straight to Badri or just driving straight to Badrinath, you are making, going in circles, somewhere you go to a place and there you are going round and round and round. Now going round and round and round and round at a given place is far inferior to going straight to Badri. Can we say that? Is it far inferior? I want you to see what the seriousness of what I am talking. Going round and round is not inferior, going round and round is wrong. Going round and round is wrong. Blindness is far inferior to having sight. Is it like that? As a blindness is not what I want. I don't want blindness. I want sight. Similarly, we all want to be growing rather than stagnate. Therefore, here Bhagavan says, Durena hi avaram karma. Working only for material wealth is the wrong thing to do in life. Why? That guarantees stagnation. It is inferior to what? Bhagavan says, Buddhi yogat. Working only for material wealth is far inferior to working with the right attitude. Buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means right attitude. Means change in attitude. I am working not merely for material wealth, I am working to pray to God, I am working for my inner growth. Change of attitude. Change of attitude. I am working I am working not only for material wealth, but along with the material wealth, I want to grow. I want money, but I don't want to stagnate also. I want both. I want material wealth, but for survival, I want wealth. Everybody needs wealth. But primarily, I want to grow also. This change of attitude, that is, I am working not merely for material abundance, I am working in order to grow inside, in order to keep growing, and in order to keep growing so that one day I become qualified to register the truth of myself. And what is growing? And I have already defined growing. There is growing means growing out of impulses. That is the definition of growth. Growing out of anger is growth. Like a person who has been all the time angry, and suddenly makes a resolve not to lose his temper without any rhyme or reason. Those who lose temper, you don't have to do anything. It is their nature to lose temper, just for no rhyme or reason. They are all the time angry with themselves. They are all the time angry with themselves. Therefore, if a person has been used to losing his temper again and again, and if he decides not to lose temper and then cools down, tries to interact with people coolly, then what do we call it? We will say a person has changed. I would say a person has grown up. If a person has changed for the better, I would say the person has grown. Person has grown. Does not that growth make him and everybody else happy? One's husband makes a lot of money. But when he comes home, he comes like a Katrina. You know Katrina? Storm. He comes like Katrina. And you feel really scared. And then he justifies his anger because he has to see what I have given you. And I have given you, in fact, when we started life, we had nothing. I have made so much of money for you and children and everybody. He is all the time talking about the money that he is making, and that way he justifies his anger. And then suddenly he changes and he becomes cool-headed, and then he has changed for the better. Okay, then you are able to receive him much better. You are able to enjoy his company. In fact, that change in him makes you more happy than all the money that he has made. Is it not true? The change in him makes you more happy than all the money he has made. Therefore, it is the change in the person that makes one and others also happy. Similarly, growth means growing out of impulses. How many impulses are there? Primarily 6 impulses. And growing out of these 6 impulses makes you experience heaven within yourself. Heaven is not out there. Heaven is within yourself, and the mind minus yourself minus unjustifiable anger, oneself minus greed, kama, desire. Desire means illegitimate desire. Kama, illegitimate desire. Kama should not be taken as desire. Kama is illegitimate desire. Krodha, illegitimate anger. Illegitimate anger. Lobha, illegitimate greed. Illegitimate greed. Moha, illegitimate infatuation. Infatuation is attachment. Infatuation. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada. Illegitimate vanity. Illegitimate vanity. Matsaryam, illegitimate jealousy. I am telling you, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya are not instincts but impulses. Swabhavikam. They are undesired, they are impulses. It is not that they are incentive for growth. It is wrong. In fact, they come in the way of growth. Any illegitimate desire comes in the way of fulfilling the right desire. Illegitimate anger comes in the way of, it obstructs my path to finding Shanti. Therefore, indulging in these illegitimate impulses comes in the way of finding out what is legitimate in life. Indulging in the wrong comes in the way of finding the right. And therefore, here Krishna says, Durena hi avaram karma. Now look at the line. Working merely for material wealth is far inferior to buddhi yogat from the change of attitude. Working merely for money is far inferior to working with the right attitude, working for inner growth. For inner growth. How do I grow? By work. This is all that we have seen. That is, I do my duty as a prayer to God. That prayerful attitude helps me grow out of my impulses. Prayer has a fantastic ingredient in it. Prayer, not ritual. You prayerful. A heart that is prayerful helps you out of illegitimate desire, illegitimate anger, illegitimate greed, illegitimate jealousy, illegitimate hatred. Prayer. Don't think all those people who shout prayers are prayerful. They shout prayers. Even in temples, what do? We shout prayers. That is why loudspeakers are there. Why do you require a loudspeaker? Bhagwan bera hai kya? Bhagwan bera hai? Somebody said, Bhagwan bera. Is he deaf? Therefore, whenever a person goes to the temple, listen to this point. Whenever a person goes to the temple and comes back every day and you see him going to the temple, you see him go and come, but he doesn't change. That means he only goes to the temple and comes. He is not prayerful. Prayerfulness is different from, prayer is different from a ritual. Prayer is different from a ritual. Bahut badi baat hai ji. Supposing you go to all the kshetras, you go to all these places of pilgrimage, but without a prayer in your heart, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't change. What brings about, what promotes growth in us is the prayer. Prayer is not just saying prayer, being prayerful in our heart. Like, what is your love for your children? Is it saying or feeling? When you say, you feel. When you don't say also, you feel. You are ever, your heart is full of love for your children. Supposing Gita comes and says, you have to love your children, what will you say? Hame pata hai. Hame pata hai. Who doesn't know it? Who doesn't have it? Therefore, In fact, the love for the children is something that makes you have the best attitude towards children. You don't have illegitimate desire from them, illegitimate anger for them, illegitimate hatred for them, illegitimate jealousy for them. In fact, you have the best attitude towards your children. It's a divine attitude. Divine attitude. Because you not only say you love them, but you love them. And therefore, in that manner, if there is a prayer for God, there is a prayer in our heart, devotion to God pulls us out of these impulses even for the people. Therefore, that's a growth. When a mind is free from the impulses, it is peaceful, tranquil. Now, the next line, please say. Now, anyway, I have given a very important point. Nothing can change a man except a prayerful duty. A sense of duty with a prayer in the heart. This is what can change man. Swamiji, all religious people are prayerful. No, they are not prayerful at all. They are not prayerful. They are fanatical. Fanatically ritualistic. A person who has prayer in his heart for God, the one who has devotion, he can always understand all living beings are like me. In God's creation, every living being wants to be happy. I also want to be happy, and others also want to be happy, and others also are like me. Others' hunger is like my hunger. Others' need for comfort is like my need. They are like me. They are neither better than me nor less than me. We are all the same. We are all, and God cannot be only in the heart of some and not in the heart of others. God abides in the heart of everybody. In this manner, a person who has got devotion to God, he thinks differently. He thinks differently. When I am successful, I don't want others to be jealous of me. Therefore, let me not be jealous of others. This is how a devotee thinks. When I am in need, I want others to help me. Therefore, let me help. And similarly, I don't want others to hate me. Therefore, let me not hate. I don't want others to shout me. Therefore, let me not shout. In this manner, a devotee thinks differently, and therefore, it is the devotion that brings about that change in him, that growth. Therefore, what Krishna is telling is, do your duties with a sense of duty, but also with devotion that can help you grow, and in time you become qualified for knowledge. And there is no other way. And one day, if not in one life, at least in some life or the other, you will be able to understand. Because this is one of the lives. If I say, I can't say this is the first life and the final life. There were so many lives before. Like a day, you see. Is today the first day? Is today the first day? Before the day began, I was asleep. Just listen, just listen. Before the day began, I was asleep. And before I went to sleep, I was awake. And before I woke up yesterday, I was asleep. Therefore, sleep, waking, alternate each other. What is life? Waking up. What is death? Sleep. So before I was born, I was asleep. And then life began means woke up. Just as in one lifetime, many times I go to sleep, many times I wake up. In the same manner, life itself is waking up, and then dying itself is going to sleep. Therefore, so this day itself cannot be the first and the final day. There were many days before, many days later, many lives before this life, many lives after. And man will continue to take life after life until he discovers himself. Why is it so that he has to discover himself? Because he happens to be the answer to his problems. I have said something very important. Like a river has to find, a river will continue, a water will continue to flow until it finds its level. A river has to continue to flow until it meets the ocean. What did I say? A river has to continue to flow until it meets the ocean. Does it meet the ocean by its choice? I want you to listen to this language. Does the river choose to move towards the ocean? Does the river choose? Is it by choice? No, the river moves towards the ocean without choice. Man also has to move towards himself without choice. Having moved and 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 means having grown and grown and grown until he discovers himself, it is like the river meeting the ocean. Meeting yourself is like the river meeting the ocean. Till then, life over life, man has no choice. Even though some people say, oh, we don't believe the next life, we don't believe the previous life. Hey, that is being illogical. Hey, without the past and without the future, there can't be any present life. You can't say this life began now and ends now, that's it. If that is true, if there was no past, then how can you explain away disparities? Why you are born only in Delhi, not in Bombay, not in America, not in Bangladesh, not in Africa, not in Zimbabwe, as a neighbor to Mugabe, where everything is there, they have no food to eat. I am telling you, you can't say there is no, to say that there were no past lives is being illogical. What did I say? To say there were no past lives is being illogical. But we don't believe in it. Hey, your beliefs you keep for yourself. It's illogical. As a thinking, talk like a thinking man. Don't think a Hindu thing. Don't look at yourself as a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or this belief or that belief. Forget it. Look at yourself as a thinking human being. Look at yourself as a thinking human being, just renounce all the labels. Because fundamentally we are born human. We are not born a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, etc. These labels, they are all stickers, changeable stickers. You have stickers on the car. These are all stickers. We are carrying stickers. Are you able to follow? You forget these stickers. As a thinking human being, you have to say, how can you explain away this really, how can you explain the present life without taking into account the past? Even the present situation. Why are you all right? You say, it's like, why are you in Delhi today? You were born in Pakistan, you were born in some United India somewhere before Pakistan was formed, somewhere. Why are you here? There is some past. The past has created the present. Present doesn't descend from heaven. Present doesn't descend from heaven. Present is the result of the past. And therefore here Krishna says, keep growing so that sometime you will be able to meet yourself, discover your own glory, and therefore work, use your duties for self-growth. You don't have to use your duties only for material abundance. That is why the second line says, Buddhau, in the right attitude. Buddhi and Saptami is in the Buddhi. Sharanam, refuge. Anvicha, seek. Find your Saka. in your own right attitude. Find your succor, find your refuge, find your help, find assistance, find peace within your right attitude. In rectifying your thinking, find your peace. Within the rectification of your attitude, find your succor. Find your succor within yourself. Find your peace within yourself. Find your refuge within yourself. You are your refuge. You are your succor. You are your help. You are your source of help, source of peace. Therefore, don't look for any outside refuge. You are your refuge. You are your refuge. Swamiji, when we say that we are our refuge, then is it not true that we all become atheistic? We don't depend upon God. I say, God himself is saying, in fact, God is not somewhere there. God is, then why do we say God is only out there? Is God out there or within? Like every wave is, we are all like waves. Is water within us or outside us? We are all like waves. Just think of, we are all like waves. Now where is water? Within us or outside us? We are all like tables. You are one table, I am one table, each one is a table. Where is the wood? Within us or outside us? We are all like ornaments. Where is the gold? Within us. We are all like jivas. We are all jivas. And where is Bhagavan? Within us. Therefore here Krishna says, seek your refuge within. Seek your succor within. Help within. Peace within. Sharanam is a beautiful term. Sharanam means, refuge means, trying to find all that you want there. That is called Sharanam. It's a very beautiful word. Like for a small child, who is Sharanam? Parents. Mother is the Sharanam. For every small little thing, the child depends upon the mother. So mother becomes what? Sharanam. That is the meaning of the word Sharanam. For everything, where I can find all that I want is Sharanam. What did I say? Where I can find all that I need is my Sharanam. Krishna says, hey, you are your Sharanam. You are your Sharanam. You are your Sharanam. It's like, you are disturbed. I'll give you a very simple example. Simple example. You are disturbed. How do you get relief from the disturbance? How do you get relief? You have to quieten that disturbance. You have to tell yourself, you have to work against it and try to silence yourself. When you silence yourself, you are peaceful. Therefore, who has helped you? Yourself. You are restless and then make yourself restful. Who makes you restful? Yourself. You are angry. Who controls your anger? Yourself. You are greedy and then who controls your greed? Yourself. Can anybody control your impulses? I am telling you, nobody can give me an answer to my problems. I have to find the answer to my problems. Nobody can. And therefore there is no use of blaming. This only makes us responsible. Makes us responsible for our own happiness. We should become responsible for our happiness and peace. Buddhau sharanam anvicha. The last phrase is kripanaha phalahetavaha. Those who work in life, those who live their life only for material wealth are kripanaha. They are stupid. Kripanaha means stupid. Those who can't see beyond their nose is called Kripana, miserly. Kripana means miserly. Actually, we have a definition of Kripana. In Vedanta, we have a definition that Kripana is Yova Yedadaksharam Gargyaviditva small lokat praitisa Kripanaha. Yajnavalkya tells, hey Gargi, a Kripana in this world is one who doesn't think about what he is, who he is, who doesn't think about himself. He thinks only about the material wealth but doesn't think about himself. He is called a Kripana. The one who lives his whole life thinking about money and then suddenly dies out. The man who is all the time thinking about money, and then suddenly pops off. Shastra calls him stupid. Why? His whole life he wasted. He did not think about what he was supposed to think. And he did not think. And he was all the time thinking about the irrelevant things. I say, you have money. What is the use of thinking about that all the time? You have a money in your, let us say locker. And the whole day you are thinking about the locker and the money in it and the ornaments in it, all in it. Once in a while open and see, touch, smell, and again keep it back, and again lock it, and again. And again, that means what? You are unnecessarily wasting your mind, your time, thinking about what you... Why? Let it be there. To divert our attention even from possessions, material possessions, and think about Shastram requires wisdom. I tell you, it's a very important thing. Sometimes we keep thinking, we get obsessed with what we don't have, and then we get obsessed also with what we have. Forget about what you have, whatever you have. Therefore, what is Kripanaha? The one who lives his life working only for material wealth and misses out on himself, misses out on understanding himself, is a Kripana. And the one who understands it is a Brahmana. Yova Yedadaksharam Gargi Viditva Sma Lokat Praitisa Brahmana. This is the difference between Brahmana and Kripana. The one who is reflective is Brahmana. The one who works only for material wealth, he is a Kripana. Therefore, don't be a Kripana Arjuna, be a Brahmana. Means what? Well, work, but not only for money, but work for inner growth also. Work for material abundance and also spiritual growth. Combine material gain with spiritual growth. If duty can accomplish both, why I should do only for one thing? If I can do my duty and achieve material abundance plus inner growth, then why should I do my duty only for material abundance and ignore growth? I can combine both. Where we combine material growth and spiritual growth, where there is a combination, there is well-being and peace. Where one is neglected and where even one of the two is neglected, even if we neglect material growth, it's not good. And where if we neglect even spiritual education, that is also not good, because we need both. Both are choiceless. Material abundance is choiceless, and inner growth also is choiceless. This is what is called artha and moksha. We require artha as well as moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We'll continue the topic later on. So this week we have Gita classes, Tuesdays and Thursdays. From next week, what will be the days? Mondays and Wednesdays. You will come? The change of days? Please, you can write it down. Instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays, it will be... There is a lot of confusion, After all, those who stand in a queue, they are also devotees. We can't make them feel inconvenient. They have a right to stand in the queue. Supposing you say, oh, this is a place for our car parking. They say, this is, Bhagavan has given us for standing. We can't really, we can't make arguments. We can't argue with people. If possible, it is always better. हमारा गुरुजी कहते थे, एक जगह में आसन डाल के बैठे हुए हैं, somebody comes and disturbs, क्या करना चाहिए? आसन उठा के जाओ और कहीं बैठो, और कहीं जाके बैठो. That is much better. And therefore, instead of having it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it is better that we have it on Mondays and Wednesdays. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate